So happy New Year to you all. Look at all you lovely people packed in this wonderful room. Thank you for coming out on this mid-January night. And welcome to the Roaring 20s, the decade when, frankly, we'll be grateful if we get to the end of it, I think. But no, thank you so much for coming. I had a cold over Christmas. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm virtually fully, that's really nice, I'm very touched. I'm surprised, slightly nervous. But no, thank you. I'm fully recovered now. But it's funny because you can't say that you had flu anymore, can you? You can't, particularly as a bloke. You can't do that. You know, you could be losing limbs, and you just have to say, no, it's just a mild head cold. It's nothing. You know, but that's how it's got. But I was pretty much bedridden for the last 3 weeks, just me in a bed with a box of Kleenex, and you know, I read some of the captions. That's an image you don't want to. Anyway, we'll move swiftly on. But I did. You know that thing people do. Come back. You know that thing people do, that gargling with salt. You know that. So I did that I did a lot of that over the last 3 weeks, and that kind of worked. But I discovered a new remedy that clears up any virus, and I'm going to share it with you tonight because it was wonderful. It's a salt and bicarbonate of soda nasal wash. Has anybody heard of that? Anybody? Oh yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's an unusual way to spend New Year's Eve, but I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy it. It's but it does kind of work. But in my time laid up in bed, I had a lot of time to surf the internet, and during that time, I have made 2 startling discoveries that I'm going to share with you because I was very, very excited about them. So I'm going to share these 2 things with you tonight that I learned over the last 15 days. We're only 15 days into 2020, and already I know 2 new things. The first thing is that I am sure that many of you, I have a Nectar card, and I use that at Sainsbury's, you know, on Sedlescombe Road. Anyone shop there? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to share this fact with you. Be ready to be stunned. I am the #1 buyer of Greek Fahey yogurt at Sainsbury's. Oh yes. And my headmaster said I was never going to amount to anything. So I know. Stunning, but that's the #1 buyer of Fahey Greek yogurt at Sainsbury's. So there you go. And it's only just me and my It's just me and my daughter, so we eat a lot of yogurt. Anyway, that's the first thing I learned. The second thing, with all this time I learned, is that, and I'm wearing this t-shirt tonight, many of you may have spotted, the band Europe, of course, the 1980s, Poodlehead, glam rock, soft rock band. Those guys, I had dismissed them, but in fact, one of the things I discovered is that they were incredible. Well, they foretold Brexit, okay? Because not only did they name themselves Europe, of course, their massive hit, you'll all know it, Final Countdown. Perfect. Now, I asked Dan if he would learn it, and I'm not going to learn that rubbish song. So he's just done that from his head. But obviously you'll all know the lyrics. But no, they're called Europe. They wrote a song called The Final Countdown, and we've only got 16 days left, I think, until we commit national suicide. Anyway, so I thought, well, okay, maybe you're not going to believe me just if I say they're called Europe and they wrote a song called The Final Countdown. So I digged a little bit deeper, and I know you'll all know the lyrics, but I have gone into the lyrics and I put them up, so I'm going to share them with you so you can see that I'm absolutely correct. There they are, look, just to be reminded. Fantastically, well, it's an 80s look, isn't it? Anyway, their lyrics, so The Final Countdown Europe, here we go. They open with, "We're leaving together, but still it's farewell." So I think that's pretty much on track. Then they go to, "And maybe we'll come back to Earth, we can tell." So, you know, they don't know, but they're speculating at this point. This is the only part of the song. that they get wrong, and it's that there is this one inaccuracy. So obviously they didn't know that David Cameron was going to get into politics and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there we are. Guess there's no one to blame, blah, blah. Will things ever be the same again? Well, clearly no. And then we get, it's the final countdown, the final countdown. Oh, so that was wonderful lyrics. But then, the other thing about this song is that we all know pretty much where Brexit is going to lead us. It's going to be a national disaster. But actually, do we know where we are actually headed? And I think that most of us don't. Those boys in Europe did. We're heading for Venus, and still we stand tall. They wrote this in 1986. Now, you might think, okay, Venus, whatever, that doesn't mean anything. Well, actually, I looked up Venus because I thought you'd think that. And it turns out that Venus is ubiquitously known as a hot, hellish and volcanic planet. So essentially, they knew back then in 1986 that we would leave and we would be heading to hell. And that's quite remarkable, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure that we'll all miss her, so it's the final countdown. So there you go. Now, if you're not satisfied that that's no coincidence in terms of them being called Europe and there was something called Final Countdown, 16 days to go, and they wrote those lyrics all those years ago, and I suspected you may not be, I will leave you with this one remarkable fact, that they chose to launch their album called The Final Countdown, on which album their title track, The Final Countdown, was contained, on the 26th of May 1986. Innocuous, you may say. Absolutely not. The 26th of May 1986 was the day that the European Union adopted the European flag. So, yes, I know, a little bit spooky, but I will leave that thought with you, and maybe we'll come back. Anyway.